Hello, Internet. Whoop. Let me move this microphone a little closer. Hello, Internet. So, alright. This language deserialization, serialization thing, what I have learned that I had learned before and completely forgot. So, some things just can't be serialized by C sharp, at least not using the XML serializer. One of those things, excuse me, is dictionaries. So, I kind of have a solution that I used. Let me show you. Where's RGBAs? The reason I have this RGBA class at all is because the XNA color class right here cannot be serialized, but we use colors everywhere, of course. I mean, a weapon knows what colors its bullets or what color its bullets are going to be. The ship knows what color its hull is because the player can choose their color. All these kinds of things. We store color everywhere. Every tile has a color. All these things. So I had to be able to serialize and deserialize color. Now there are other solutions to serialize and deserialize with a serializable attribute. It's kind of like built-in C# support. There's also data contracts, which people say are generally better. The problem is, the main reason why I'm not using any of them, there are kind of two reasons. One is that I just didn't know about them when I started doing this. I knew about serializable. I don't remember how. It's just what I happened to know existed, so I started using it. And then by the time I learned about data contract, and now that I'm saying the second reason might not be true, but I wanted XML output, not for save games. Save games don't care, I'm saving those as binary anyway, but for the languages, I want XML because I want to be able to pass them around to people. I do think that from reading around, XML is absolutely possible with data contract. I'm not 100% sure on that though. But I'm pretty sure. So that's not a problem. I was going to say the other reason I'm not using data contract is because it doesn't XML, but I think it does. I do also want to say, just as a person who programs in general, XML is terrible, and I hate XML so much. I would rather use like anything else. Like, why can't we use? I would rather use like the INI format or JSON or something else. And there are serializers for dealing with that. On the other hand, I mean, the way that I'm using XML for the languages, it's pretty flat, right? It's not a horrible mess of XML. So you're like, okay, right? I mean, you can see we're not like getting into using all the weird properties that, but like, why does it even have this? It's like XHTML, the horrible. Thank God we're on HTML5 now. We don't have to deal with this stuff. So anyway, no, XML is a pretty bad format just in general. I mean, that's a good rule of thumb. XML equals bad. But it is C Sharp's kind of default. Getting JSON support in C Sharp is for some reason, like, how is it not default? I don't understand. And they have built-in JSON support and it's bad. Anyway, the answer was you to use a NuGet package. And actually, I just think this is funny. Let's look at NuGet packages. Where is that? I know I'm using some here. I always just go to references. Manage NuGet packages. I'm pretty sure the first thing that comes up in NuGet is JSON.net for serializing JSON, because the world uses JSON. What is wrong with you, Microsoft? Please stop pushing XML. Anyway, apparently it just doesn't want to load anything. Ooh, it froze. Mysteriously, that's a good sign. Yep, Newtonsoft JSON. So, most popular NuGet package in the whole freaking world, because again, for C Sharp, which is a small subset of the world, please use JSON. So anyway, built-in support though for C Sharp. Also, when I started this project, I was not super confident with NuGet. I've used like Composer for PHP and stuff, but I don't know. It wasn't really in my mind as a thing that existed out there or something. I don't know. So anyway, we're kind of stuck with it at this point. So what's the workaround? The workaround is something like what I did here in RGBA. I made this wrapper class RGBA that wraps a color inside, and we say don't serialize. Don't try and serialize because you're going to crash if you do. And then with this ID serialization callback, we tell it what to do when it loads up this RGB element, and what it does is it rebuilds that color object using the other properties that are serialized, the red, the green, the blue, and the alpha, which are somewhere around here. Here they are. So these get serialized. This does not, but then we rebuild this when we deserialize. Perfect, right? So I think a similar thing is going to want to be done in language. Now, apparently when I redid language, or when I did this, so I already have something like that in language. It didn't used to use this on deserialization callback, so I quickly made it do that before I started recording. But basically this is to do the same thing. We have key descriptions, which is a string-string dictionary, And I had previously learned clearly that dictionaries aren't serializable, and so I made a workaround. But then I didn't use the same workaround as I used in RGBA. Again, I don't know why. I can't explain it. This project's kind of big at this point. It's easy to forget all the bits of code. So we do the same thing here, right? We have this. Oh, and sorry, I messed this up. So this is non-serialized. I had taken that out temporarily just to see if that's what was going on. So anyway, this isn't serialized, but then we build it out of the key description. So I think we need to do the same thing for the planet type. I also think that we're increasingly seeing the limitations of the XML serializer. Like, yeah, we can do this funny workaround every time we want a dictionary, but isn't that kind of a pain? Isn't that kind of not what you want, right? Like, shouldn't we instead be using, I don't know, maybe we can code the languages in JSON or something else. I would have to look at the features of the JSON serializer though, and deserializer. Like, does it support enums, which are enumerated types? I used to call them enums, but then my coworker called them enums, and I was like, well, it is short for enumeration, so that's probably correct. But now I notice when I'm in that state now where both of them sound funny to me to say. So, but anyway, let's switch the planet types to use right here. This is the dictionary, right? This needs to be non-serialized, and then what we are going to have serialized is a, was it private? Is that what I made it down here? No, it's public still, so fine, whatever. Public string of planet types. Planet type names. For some reason I guess I was using that to be like, don't use it, trying to do a naming convention. Like, if it was a private, I would start it with an underscore. Why isn't it private? Because I know you can enumerate. Let's change it to private and see what happens. Also, hold on. Let's rename this properly so that we catch all the instances. All right, private. And then we will go up here. So this should be private, and we're going to call this planet name types. And what this needs to be then is a new string. And what we're going to do is something like this. We're going to do a quote, and we're going to do a colon, and all of these are going to become colons. Oh, get my mouse out of the way. Colon, 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 and then we're basically done. So this is going to need to be how I keep it, and then this we don't do because we're going to set this in our ID serialization callback thing. And then we're going to parse these strings to enums, which I don't know off the top of my head what the name of that is, but, you know, autocomplete and whatever Microsoft calls it, IntelliSense or whatever, that'll help us get there, right? So I don't need to remember. That is the beauty of IDEs, and I don't know why people don't use IDEs sometimes. Who uses Vim? Even if you want, it doesn't matter. Let's not talk about that, because I know that's a thing that people have strong opinions of. Some people would be like, no, you're weak, you relying on the IDE. I don't know. That's like an opinion some people have. Anyway, so let's say for each string s in, you know what? Let's just copy this because it's going to be awfully similar. So, except we're not using key descriptions, we're using planet type names, and very good key description. So again, planet type names, and we're going to do enum parse or something. There's some sort of thing for this. Enum try parse, and we give it an enum type. So the enum type is planet or biome type, right? And the value, and let's not use try parse because if it we already catch the whole thing, so we'll be good there. So is this a function? Object. The object is of type biome type. You don't need to. Okay, this is starting to get real ugly. I feel like we should break this down a long time. Okay, so biome type equals enum parse type enum type. Okay, type of biome type values 0, right there. And this is of type, apparently I have to cast it. I don't know why it doesn't know. Oh, I do. Fine, fair enough. All right, right, so that is how we parse it. Bam. And then we assign a string. Not the prettiest thing. Reflection is never the prettiest thing. I hate relying on reflection. Every time I use reflection, I feel a little sad inside. Um, but it's just kind of what you have to do. When you have to do it. When you have to do it, then it's okay. And again, I guess we don't have to, right? We could try and make some sort of horrible map of strings to enums or something. Enums. But let's not. I don't know. See, so you don't have to use reflection. Why am I using reflection? It's, I don't know, sometimes it's the... Stop. Her static, I can hear the static noises coming through. I hope she hasn't destroyed the... We talked about this before, right? She'll make USB devices unplugged, but I didn't hear the USB noise, so I think we're good. Hopefully she doesn't make... Well, if she makes a little noise on camera or whatever, that's fine. There's a black cat that comes... So I've got like a sliding glass door thing downstairs. Sorry, I'm petting the cat, so I'm going to talk about the cat now for a sec. Then I'll get back to programming. Is that okay with you? Let's go for it. So there's a black cat that likes to come in and just stare in through the glass slidey doors in the backyard. There's like this back porch with a little gate that goes into the greater world. And I do let the cat out. She's mostly an indoor cat, but she enjoys the outdoors quite a bit. Even though she's... it doesn't matter. She shouldn't do it, but she does. And the vet was like, I don't believe in... You know, the cats want to go outside, let them go outside, it's fine. Anyway, this black cat likes to just sit in the backyard and look inside. And it also makes noises and, you know... And now the cat's doing that too, and she's very unhappy, and she'll go down there and yowl at the cat who just stares. And why does that cat keep coming to the back door? The cat is also aggressively friendly, like... It'll rub against you and like lift itself up and rub against like your leg, but if you pet it, it gets pissed. Like, what are you doing? Cats. All right, they're good, but they're crazy. All right, so now we are doing this planet type thing. Let's go ahead and do that in. I know why we didn't do it with underscores, because our language. Yeah, okay, that's why. Because these are things that we have in the XML, and I didn't want to. I'll show you. Well, let's open up a language file. Let's find English. That is in languages, English, and we will find, what was it, key descriptions? What? Gosh, fine. Key descriptions. I should have searched in English only. Key descriptions, current document. We don't have it. That's mysterious. Am I confused? Whoops. No, it seems an awful lot like it's called key descriptions. Let's look for left control. Let's look in my files. We can't do a find in. I always want to. I'm used to PHP Storm. Yeah, I don't like the search feature in Visual Studio as much. But it doesn't seem like I've never overridden this. That's really weird. Why did I go through all this trouble of serializing and deserializing if I don't even use it in any of my languages? Well, we're about to use it, so let's go for it. So let's find the planet types in English, and we'll just see that this works. So this is planet something, planet type names. So what we now need is the lowercase version, planet type names. And this is a list, and we're going to do forest is forest, right? We've gotten awfully distracted. We're supposed to be working on the tutorial. Again, it's okay. It's just kind of funny. Whoops, desert. Desolate was actually called barren because of old reasons. We could change that, but whatever. Ice, lava, mining. I know it's mining. And haunted. Haunted. That's because I was saying mining at the time. Alright, so I think this is good. And we're going to get English. We're probably only going to get English right now, but I just want to confirm to get anything, and then we can, we didn't get it. Something broke. Oh, because I was trying to test stuff. Ooh, although interesting. That suggests to me that it didn't like... Okay, this is non-serialized. That's the key descriptions. Where's the planet type names? Non-serialized, right? Huh. That's interesting. Why did it have trouble? Let's try with that bit of code removed. We don't have any because it errored. Let me open up my errors. So it's in D development C#. mysterious space. Let me get this on screen for you guys. Bin release. You see that? You want to play old versions of Mysterious Space? I got them. Sorry, this is debug mode, and then it would be Mysterious Space log file, which I don't know what's going to try and open that with. That's good enough for me. Okay. So yeah, failed to load language. There was an error reflecting type Mysterious Space language. Oh, so it's just completely failing, right? Maximum gamepad count is 4. Yeah, that's an unfortunate mono game thing. It won't do more than 4 controllers. So, I mean, the game could handle 8 players, but it won't. I mean, we would need at least 7 controllers, right, and 1 keyboard. But this is hard-coded by, or something, by mono game. Anyway, what is going on with an error reflecting? Let me see if I can find that out, again, off camera, just because, well, isn't debugging like the... I don't know. Like, debugging is 90% of programming. I don't know if that's true. It is a huge portion of programming is just debugging this stuff. And so by skipping it, I feel like we skip like a lot of what kind of thought process. You know, let's try it out. And if this turns out to be boring and a failure, then I don't do it anymore. So we need to figure out why there was an error reflecting. I think what I should do is get rid of this try catch, and we will see what it gives us. Like, let's see if we can get more details on the error. Now, we've already kind of seen it. It just doesn't like making the serializer on type language. Did we accidentally introduce some more dictionaries? Like, this is not serialized. This is a string of key descriptions. Maybe so we had made this private. Maybe we should make this public, because we changed a lot of variables once, right? And that is not science. You change one variable at a time. Planet type names. That's a list of strings. This is a dictionary, but it's not serialized. I feel like that's all we had changed, though. I mean, let's see what happens. Let's see where it crashes. I mean, I think we're just going to see that same. Yes, I don't know why Visual Studio does that to me sometimes, but the error is an error reflecting type. Just that's it. You're not going to say anything more. The cat has left, so I can scoop my chair in a little more. That's like the most useless kind of error you could give me. The whole thing is in general serializable. We did add this funny deserialization callback. Well, let's see what happens if we don't use that. We won't get these values, but I'm just curious if that has somehow broken it, even though that's working for us with RGBAs, right? And I did add that. So speaking of changing variables, right? Like, let's isolate what is the thing. Okay, yes, I want to use it anyway because you work, so stop complaining. So it isn't that. So I'm going to put that back. So what is it? Why is it so angry? Sorry, I'm just getting it back to the error again. I don't know why. We're not going to see anything more than we've seen before, but why would it not? I mean, you know what the thing to do is? You Google. You don't click this. This is going to take you somewhere stupid. Instead we Google. Let me open, well, I don't know. What have I got open? Anything embarrassing? Nah, it's all good. We can see that I've been working on my Raspberry Pi. We can see that I've been looking up Star Trek Discovery because I want to see that. And I've been watching Lost Cast, which is whatever. Yeah, oh, my little Raspberry thing is coming along well. And we're uploading the previous video of this very thing. So anyway, let's find out what is going on. There was an error reflecting type. That sure is what I'm seeing. This is, and 90% of debugging. 90% of coding is debugging, 90% of debugging is Google to Stack Overflow. That is, well, or in this case, not even Google. Google would be very sad to learn that it's like confusing Pepsi and Coke. Gotta protect your brand names. Guess what, Google? I don't care. I will call searching Googling, and you can be sad all you want. Yeah, so why would it do that? Look at the inner exception you're getting. It will tell you which field property is having trouble serializing. Fantastic. There is something about that where you can... Inner exception. Cannot serialize mysterious space planet type names. I thought I said don't serialize that. Because it's a dictionary. I forgot about those inner exceptions. I've had to do something. Yeah, every now and again that comes up. So, planet type names only in this document, please. I told you not to serialize. Tell me more. with XML ignore. Really? Why doesn't that happen here? And what did we do in RGBA? Huh. Let's try it. I am a little confused, but let's try it. The internet says so. Would the internet lie to me? I mean, yeah, the internet's full of crazy people saying crazy things. Yeah, I'd like to use it. Yeah, that hasn't helped. Open. No, that's not what I wanted. Get rid of that. I don't even know what that is. I don't want to look at it. View detail. Although maybe it has useful information, right? Cannot serialize key descriptions. Oh, so it moved. What? I don't know. I'm almost maybe that was XML ignore before, and I just thought, well, how is it working for RGBAs? Because that I have not changed. Something bananas is happening, but that's like, okay, we have all of our languages. These ones won't have planet types in them properly. I like that I can play the game until it crashes. Key not found. Tell me more. So what's in key descriptions? Let's find out, since you're not telling me. Nothing. So I did change how this was deserialized. Find all references. It would be here. Be here. To use this I deserialization callback. Which I didn't used to be using before. It used to be part of this process special strings. I just did it in there, and I can still do it there. It just seems like there is a place for this already. I mean, let's see if that fixes it. But, no. Alright. Because that's what, and maybe using that is what makes the XML serial, and, you know, ignore XML, I don't know. It's all very strange. So, this now throws errors. That's interesting. Planet names. So yeah, so it wasn't getting called before or something. I don't know. I'm going to confess to not 100% knowing what's going on. But I guess let's put it back to the way it had before. Maybe past me knew better. You know? This is still wigging me out. I'm pretty sure I've never used that before. It's definitely not being used in RGBA. If we try to load a save game and it crashes, I'm going to like... I won't know what to believe anymore. Like, like what's going on? Okay, good, because we put a thing here. We put a breakpoint. So, this does seem to be working now. Well, now we can do the thing we were doing before. I'm unsatisfied. I'm going to be honest. I don't like what I'm seeing here. Also, we need to change all that text still. Why did... This is ice. That could be... That seems a bit too close to the surface. It is a tutorial level. That's actually kind of okay, now that I think about it. Maybe I should make the levels very shallow, because one of the things I have trouble teaching players, now we actually get to talk about game design, which I feel like is the interesting part, right? One of the things I've had trouble teaching players is they'll fly around and they'll look at that solid blue and be like, I can't go below that. That looks to me like solid terrain. But if I have this, you're going to try now, right? Like, there's no, you're going to be like, oh, supposed to pick that up. Like, that is absolute, that's, I think that's true. Here's the thing though, if that's going to work, it's quite possible that it could have put the fuel all the way down here, right? And then we would have never seen it from above. My hope before was that, you know, the player would fly around and, yeah, we're still getting that funny crossing the seam. Yeah, stop. No, why? We'll fix that later. So my hope was that the player would realize, oh, you know, it's going in a circle, obviously. I'm not seeing anything. Maybe they would figure out to go through here, but that, like, having that fuel be like, hey, fuel is pretty explicit. Like, that is even better. So I think that's what I need to do. I think then I want to make this planet very shallow as well to force the fuel near the top. And I think there's a chance that that will result in the fuel being on the surface, and that is not what I want. So we won't use the built-in fuel placing thing. Now, do not think that I have forgotten about this serialization problem, this serialization mystery. Um, but that might be something to solve in my own time. So I would like to. Let's check this out. Let's try this. Oh, where can we see this? We need to get past the tutorial. I need to change, like, all these other languages, Deutsch and everything else. Um, right planet type names. That needs to do the similar thing. So I'm going to do it real quick on this one, but wow, see, and I don't even know. They should be in the same order. I bet that's ice, and I bet that's ocean. Woost, or Voost, right? Because that U with an umlaut, that makes it an U like in fruit. So Woost, Wooste? I don't know my German. Anyway, that's a waste, I bet. So that would be barren. Walled, I don't remember. Oh, forest and desolate. Ode is desolate? Oh, desert. No, I was wrong. A desert is a Wüste, or whatever you would say. All right, this is a forest. I'm sorry if you know German, and I'm sorry. I don't know German. All right, I do love the language. Run Lola Run is half great movie and half. Oh, it's in German. How delightful! So that makes it overall. All right, what do you suppose lava might be? And then mining and haunted. All right. I'm not even going to, like. Part of me is like, let's try and say free frequent or frequent. Why does it have the word frequent in it? That's probably not coincidence. I mean, there's some German in English because of history. Um, haunted. All right, but I won't bore you with doing this a bunch, but this is what I'm going to need to do, right, in all the language files is go through and change all those so that they load up. Which means I need a reminder for myself. I'm going to, yes. This over here was like, oh, the file has changed. Do you want to reload it? And I do. So anyway, let's, I'll put a to-do there, or I'll never find that. Well, whatever. Update languages for, sorry, I should be typing this on screen. What was it called, though? Planet type names. Planet type names. You know what I mean. I do know what I mean. All right, cool. I'll figure it out. And now we'll do that another time. So let's make the level be what we want to teach people how to play this game, because this game is confusing. And that's my fault. We need to change that. So the thing where we find the height, what's all this? Oh, this is all like the tutorial text, right? So this isn't the right thing. Oh, two things. So we had here level seed. Yes, this was the whole point, is that we wanted to be able to specify the type. So sector, depth, type, sector, depth, and we want type. So this is the whole reason we did that thing, as I was like, I don't know what the types are, I just want the computer to tell me. Now we can always get a nice type, which we happens to have got that time that I played. Got? I don't know. So yes, now we have ice. Fantastic. That part's good. We need the level to be a little shorter. There's something, sorry, I keep looking at the wrong file. We want to find the, I call it like tutorial world or something. Also, I just remembered a thing that I need to show you. Oh, thank God, it's right here. So, remember when I did this? I did this last video. This used to be like, bool is spiky if a random number from 0 to 19, essentially, right? Again, because this whole -1 thing, it was, I'll just show you. It was like, bool is spiky equals RNG next 20 equals 0, right? So we've said a 1 in 20 chance of being spiky. But then what I did incorrectly up here is I put in a 20, but I changed this to be a percent, right? This is no longer a 1 in whatever, this is a percent chance. 20% chance is much higher than 1 in 20. 1 in 20 is 5%, so this needs to be a 5. I remembered that, and then I forgot, and now I remembered again. Thank goodness. Okay, so let's go back to tutorial world, right? Where we found the height, or where we set the height, we want that to be much shorter. So what will guarantee that you can see from the top? 6 times 10 is 60. Let's quarter that. Let's go to 15 and see what that looks like. We got an error. It freaked out, didn't like it. What do you mean Ocane is not a type, right? And I took out the try catch, right? I should put that back in. Although I shouldn't, because I'm going to change those languages a lot, and I want it to crash on me when I have done something wrong. So let's find Ocane and change it to Ocean, and then we will be good. Yeah, I want it to crash on me for now, so I catch those errors. All right, new. We will name myself Ben again, because that is my name, and we're going to find that it has trouble generating a world that is that short, and we're also going to find that the cat on my lap is not good. Although, it's better having her on my lap than, add fuel. Oh, it can't find a place. That's interesting. The cat's walking near the computer. I'm really afraid that the USB is going to cut out. Height minus 5 to 10, which is almost the entire height of the thing. Yeah, that's probably the problem, is that it went all the way up. So let's do int I don't know, start y? Is that what we want? And we'll default to -1. This is a sort of place where you're like, maybe I should use nullable. I don't know why. I never thought making primitives or structs nullable is really weird. Like, it's not something that I've seen in another language, right? Like, I don't know that Java does that. Java kind of does, because all of its, it has class versions of its primitives. So you could have, which is nullable then. It's just a weird thing. And in PHP, it's not typed, so you don't worry about that. So it's really weird to think about. Yeah, let's use it. So we want to default to null, and then there goes. Oh my god. Then fantastic. If I nothing in silence. The cat and the static. Thank you for watching. I will finish up this fuel problem in the next episode, and yeah, I hope you will join me then. Goodbye.